Hey, what's good everybody? Welcome back. Brandon again, and you're looking at my upper body hypertrophy day. And I gotta say, I hate that word hypertrophy. I always want to say hypertrophy, which I know is not correct. However, it's just one of those words that I always mix up on, and literally it's something I don't really look forward to on doing these videos. So anyways, you're seeing my bench day here, starting off with 3 sets of bench for 10 reps each. On these hypertrophy days, or bodybuilding style days, I don't really worry too much about the weight. I go more for feel. And what I'm really trying to emulate here on each set is the exact same setup and the exact same form. So I'm going to try to keep the tempo the same as well. Again, trying to go more for feel here. Now, one of the things I want you to notice is when I set up and when I unrack the bar, notice how I don't fully extend my arm, so just enough to get the bar off those racks. I find this is a tip that many people could really use. The problem is when most people unrack the bar and they fully extend their arms to do so, all that work we just tried to accomplish with pinching our shoulder blades back kind of goes out the window, because our shoulders then tend to go forward and it really puts a lot of stress on them. So a lot of people find that, benching really hurts their shoulders. This is something to keep in top of mind in order to prevent that. Alright, so after those 3 sets of bench, I moved on to pec deck. Typically on these days I like to do 2 chest exercises, followed by 2 back exercises, a shoulder exercise, a bicep exercise, and then a tricep exercise. So since I only did 3 total sets for my bench work, I decided to do 4 sets here, which made a total of 7 for chest. Now on these, again, I don't really have any set expectations going in. I go based more off of feel a lot of time, and that kind of lets me play with my routine some, so it really gives me some variation in it. What I'm really going here is for a good contraction, and I find I get a lot better one with pec deck than I do with dumbbells, hence one of the reasons why you'll see me do it so often. So going on to the last set here on pec deck, you'll notice the sweatshirt came off, so shit's about to get real. Now with this and any other exercise that I do, you'll notice that I'm not training to complete failure. It's one of the things I try to avoid doing. I know a lot of you guys out there like to do it, but with that I would just suggest thinking about it as a tool to be used and not abused. You could potentially be setting yourself back, which is a great transition to the next exercise I'm going to do, which is for my back. Again, really trying to control the weight here, the tempo itself, trying to replicate it each time going forward. For this first exercise for back, I did not show you my warm-up sets, but yes, I did warm up for back, and then I continued on to do 4 sets total of this exercise. Now check out this sweet angle here. Who's the asshole that set the camera up? That would be me. And this is one of the negatives of filming yourself, is sometimes when you set up these exercises, as far as the angle goes, it doesn't really work out how it's planned. Although there is a viewfinder on the back of this, sometimes it's hard when you're trying to be discreet. So lesson learned here, as you do see my elbow moving a little bit, so I guess you can tell that I moved the weight. So after those 4 sets of lat pull downs, I moved on to dumbbell rows. This is something I've really gotten away from the past couple of years. I don't do a lot of dumbbell rows. I much prefer barbell, but I do those on my power days, and I really want to kind of focus on these a little bit more. Now with this, you'll notice that I'm kind of a little bit upright. You'll notice I have a shorter range of motion on this. I've really played around with form on this a lot, and I just find the current form that I'm using gets the best activation in my actual muscles that I'm trying to hit. So with any of these things, I know sometimes we have conversations where you say, you know, I don't really feel it in certain exercises, certain movements. My suggestion to you is drop the weight almost to a point where it's too light, but really play around with your form some. That way you're not going to risk injuring yourself, but at the same time you can really kind of feel what works what. Then when you find a form that's really beneficial and you get that feeling you're going for, start to increase the weight and work from there. Okay, so now that chest and back is wrapped up, I typically follow that with one shoulder exercise. Yes, only one. I don't actually do a lot of shoulder work. You guys always ask me to post my shoulder workouts, and you're literally seeing all I did for shoulders this day. I really found that keeping my volume low has really helped me not only see growth, but stay really healthy when it comes to shoulders. Again, when you're doing an upper body day with a lot of pushing and pulling movements already, especially when you're using heavier weights, I find it gets your shoulders pretty good, and not overdoing it is really key. I actually did 3 sets of that last exercise, only filmed 1 for time constraints as this video is already fairly long. I then moved on to 3 sets for bicep curls, so you can see this here, just alternating dumbbells. For this again, I did 3 sets, but I only filmed the first working one. Finally, moving on to the last exercise of the day, just some V-bar press downs. Again, 3 sets here, really working on that full contraction and controlling the weight. So I hope you guys appreciate this. This was my workout for today. I will take the next 2 days off before getting back after it on Monday. In the meantime, thanks so much for watching, and stay big.